everyone. Today we are really thrilled hosting this joint webinar by Kairos Kinetic and Global Biomedical Research Foundation. Welcome to our yet another weekly Thursday webinar series. Today we are having with us our esteemed speaker, Dr. Gnanasekaran Ashok. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Let me take a few minutes to quickly introduce our speaker to you today. Dr. Gnanasekaran Ashok is currently working as an Associate Professor Microbiology at the Faculty of Medicine, Quest International University in Malaysia. He is also the Director of the Center for Infectious Diseases and Phytochemical Studies. Sir is active consultant for many pharma industries for their clinical drug discovery, including trials, research coordinator for Iman Biodiscovery in Malaysia. He's also the consultant for the IVF laboratory at Dr. Jayabalan Clinic in Malaysia. Sir is appointed as a guest professor of microbiology at BBV Sangha, Bagalkot, Karnataka, as well as adjunct professor at Savita University, Chennai. Sir has banked around 20 awards for his innovations and scientific projects, also awarded for his contribution to teaching and research and development, like the Best Teacher Award as recent as 2021, Best Researcher Award twice in 2019 and 20, as well as an Outstanding Researcher Award in 2021. Sir was also awarded RM, I think approximately 2 lakh rupees, 2 lakh RM for R&D funds, and published around 70 research papers and delivered 20 plus, that including our 20 plus invited lectures. As we were just discussing before, sir is a social worker and interested in writing on religious aspects and religious article. As he mentioned earlier, he's delivering one lecture this Saturday, that is day after tomorrow. With this very few remarks regarding his illustrious career, we would like to once again invite Dr. Ashok for today's webinar. Sir, the session is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Sri and Prof. Dr. I. Kannan. And as I seen here, yeah, it's a very mixed populations. As I told earlier, some of my seniors and some of my juniors and like professors, allied peoples, plenty mixed populations. And in this evening, I take this opportunity to thank once again for the invitations, and also thanks for the participations also. Good evening once again, and Namak Shivayam. I will start my talk with phytopharmaceuticals. Because of the mixed population here, I hear from Prof. Kannan that there is a populations from the students, scholars, as well as the lecturers. I'm not going into the very detail of the topics. I'm just going to take next 35 minutes to just give you the brief introduction about the new regulations, recently introduced. It's not, just a couple of years before has been introduced in India, not very much popular now among us. I have the reason to take up these topics also. Just like a few minutes, we can start our talk now. Can I start sharing my slides, sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
We will start the talk now. We
yes,
are waiting.
Sir.
Okay, thanks. Perfect. I think I'm audible and my slides are okay.
Yes, sir. We can see the slides and you're perfectly audible. Yes, sir.
Okay. Without further delay, I thought I will take up, we can start the session now. So basically today, as I told, my topics is a bit of a phytopharmaceutical, which is a very newly introduced in India. So in this topic today, I'm just going to discuss, there are two important factors. One is that, what is phytopharmaceutical? That's what we are going to clarify in the later part of the stages, and what we need to do to develop the phytopharmaceutical drug, means bit of regulation aspects. as a young researchers in this group, actually, this may be very useful for them, because when I started, I mean, I want to start the with a, like my background, like I done a lot of studies in phytopharmaceuticals. I mean, before it is we called as a plant-based medicines or alternative medicines or herbal medicines. The plenty of names has been there, actually, like a traditional medicines. When I started my career, like with Professor Rajendran, who is one of the eminent professor in retired from Dr. A.L.M. PGIBMS, and he's passed away couple of years before, and under him, actually, like when I started, we started some antiviral works from the plant. uh, that time, actually, we aware only one thing, that actually, like when we want to develop the drug, we need to find it out the single molecule from the plant, actually, where it is a triggering point. Actually, I just stop here, then we will continue the bit more things. Actually, what is a single molecule? So many of you all know that, actually, like you may be pushed, or maybe the idea that actually you need to develop the single molecule in order to get like what you call as a patent, or in order to get the new drugs or something else, actually. So this is what the idea we developed, or which is told to us, actually, when we are started our career. But what happened is, like traditional medicine is not that, actually, what we are thinking about. And today's the presentation, I'm just going to elaborate a bit more on that. I think. Okay. This you all very well knows, actually, how our traditional medicines comes actually into the place. Very basically, like the single word, if I want to quote about the traditional medicine, it may be the first medicines in the world, actually. If I see Dr. Sri, maybe from the allopathic background, I may not want to much more talk about the allopathy, but when we talk about this medicine, indigenous medicines or Indian medicines, these are all the medicine, maybe like evolved. The world is evolved. They evolved with the humans, actually. So it's not the new concept or new thing to simply say what is this actually traditional medicine. Why we need to think about this traditional medicine. We have established medicines. Um, these slides you are looking at, the person is called as Tirumular. He is the saint who was there. I mean, like born in Tamil Nadu, actually, like maybe 2000, 3000 years before. Actually, he told that, actually, very simple concept about the health, actually. So, Ullam Perunkoil Un Udambu, uh, what you call this, actually, all it means, like your body is the temple, actually, like your so you should keep the body healthy in order to like provide the or think about the soul, actually. So, but the most important things about the health is, like whenever we talk about the health, people mostly talks about only the physical health, actually, or you are free from the disease. But now even WHO change their stand about these things. It's not about only the physical health. It also about talks about your like a mental health, actually. Altogether, physical and mental health only we called as the complete health. The person is called as healthy persons. So, wait a minute. Actually, like in India or throughout the world, if you talk about the complementary or alternative medicine, although I am not, very much supportive these words, actually, complementary or alternative medicines. This for me is the medicine. That's all, actually. Whether it's one among the medicine listed by as such, like allopathic medicines, but still it's a terminology used rest of the world, so I just use it. I'm not even convinced with this terminology. There are plenty of medicines are there, like Siddha, Ayurveda. These are all things in practice or in use in India or rest of the world, including the Chinese medicine. But the Siddha, as such, if you take the Siddha medicine, which is restricted in the part of Tamil Nadu. It has plenty of properties, and there are reports, regarding the Siddha. It talks about a lot actually. He talks about the cancer. I mean, it's really written in the forms actually regarding the Putrunoi, means that's which is the cancer. But we are talking about the modern medicines. Like it talks about many different composition of the medicines, which is has been even practiced in allopathic medicines. And even it talks about the Ayurveda, which is the rest of the India they use as a you know uh, as a complementary medicines. Like Kerala, if you go to North India, plenty of people are using it. Even the Ayurveda, the principles of the Ayurveda is very simple. Just keep your body. It talks about your life, so. But when we have this kind of medicines widely, if I can name actually like around 20-25 people around here, if I can just ask a few people here, you should have done at least one work actually. If you are in science, if you are in the biological science, if you are in medical sciences, at least one of your projects or the background of your project must be plant based. You should have done little bit work on the plant based actually. But when you talk about this plant and plant based work, what is the output we are given? Actually, just a simple PubMed search. Actually, everybody here should have know what is PubMed. You look at until 2023, the 2019, 2020, and 2022 and 2023. This is purely because of the shock given by the COVID-19. Because before that, nobody knows actually, nobody's seen in this generation the pandemic before. I mean, long ago, somebody's seen this swine flu. Actually, those people are not alive also, most of them. But now this recent generation who we are seeing the COVID-19, they run behind this allopathy, they run behind most of the modern medicines, but finally they end up with only one thing. Let me give some Ayurvedic, let me give some Siddha medicines, which at least can help me comes out with these conditions. When whole world is shocked, actually, we survived with this kind of medicines. Actually, especially the Kabasura Kudinir, idly used in even in Malaysia. No, people are like queued because of they want to buy this Kabasura Kudinir. And another one hit, you all know that the Rasam actually this. But all these fames and names are there. But what happened actually when it comes to the scientific world? Actually, we doesn't have much outputs. Actually, if you look at just related to that, I see like a Siddha, only 545 products are there. Actually, maybe you can use a different keyword, bit more better you can get it. When you talk about the Ayush, like it is there in 1894. Actually, two century there is a small publication about Ayush there, but still there is a restricted numbers about Ayush. But when you look at the Chinese medicines, actually, like we talks about Chinese, all these people, you can see their input to this community, their publications. In fact, actually, couple of years, like if you talk about the at least 1 dozen years, they had at least 300 plus publications, 300,000 publications, means they are really into the business and really they're doing it. And in fact, actually, I want to mention it. You all know very well this malarial drug, actually, which is also from China. There's one traditional practitioner, the lady who is not even went to the school. She is the one is the frontier to invent that invention from the plant. So it has the view, it has the it has the big background. But what we missed, actually, why we are behind, actually, that's the biggest question. you know so the problem is for us, actually, we do a lot of plant based works. Actually, everybody, as I told, at least gone through one project with a plant-based antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. These are simplest work we do in our projects, anti-cancers. But why it's not translated? Why it is not enter into the rest of the world? What is the problem we faced? Actually, this is the biggest questions ever left out. Why? Why? The reason, the most important reason actually, about the traditional medicines, we should know something that it's very popular, but when it comes to the product, or when you goes to the person who is practicing it, actually, even in your place, actually in your village where you are coming from, in your town where you are coming from, at least you can name at least 2 3 siddha doctors who studied the as a part of degree, or who is doing as a traditionally by their knowledge, whoever it is. If you go for the same conditions, most of the time when we go to these allopathic doctors, when you go for the same condition, more or less the treatment will be same. But here, the same leaf they use or same plant they use, but the composition from this doctor to that doctor will vary. This siddha person to this siddha person will vary. So the herbal product, and the medications where they practice, they say actually, yeah, you can use this plant. Actually, some they use, actually you use the killarnelli, like killarnelli for jaundice. Some they say no, 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 not killarnelli, you can use it better, the what do you call this, the yellow flower, uh, Karisalankhandi you can use. Some they say no, 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 better you can use aloe vera. Aloe vera is a better effect. As so, each one has his own way of composition or own way of treating things. Finally, you end up with a serious toxicity. I know few people, including my mother. Actually, she went through with one traditional practitioner when she had the knee pain, but knowingly or unknowingly, she ended up with a drug-induced diabetic. So it is not only her case. Actually, the plenty of people I know that who end up with the different conditions because of this kind of the practice. You may have the question, sir. Nowadays, they are getting the or they are getting the degree. They had been taught, but still the thought they are given the composition for that, but still you can see that pharma to pharma this composition is very, and nobody knows what is there inside also. So this is the biggest trigger to the WHO, that they comes out with a strategy in 2014, and they started, they want to focus on, or they want to promote the traditional medicines. They put it all these medicines are there, some code called as a TM, traditional medicines, but they want to also also exhibit the safety and efficacy and quality of those product actually. So they comes out with standard regulatory guidelines and quality assurances. And with that point, actually, our our government of India, Ministry of Ayush, and our uh, DCGI, Director General for Drugs and Control, with the vision of our Prime Minister, with the vision of our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji, they comes out with a very elaborated, guidelines, just which is focusing on the traditional medicines, derived medicines. They put it under the category of phytopharmaceutical. So they introduced in the year of 2015 as a guideline. So what should be, or what we will consider as the phytopharmaceutical, in the Indian part of view. So they comes out with a very nice definition for this. They I mean, the definition is like this actually: the purified or standardized fraction from the plant actually. So purified or standardized fraction, it must be purified as standardized fraction. That's all, very simple. And you can put it anything in this category actually: crude or fractionated, whatever it is actually. It must be the plant, whole plant, or must or the just root or stem or leaf, whatever it is actually. So you have to purified or the standardized fractions, but you should you should define at least minimum 4 bioactive or phytochemicals, quantitatively and qualitatively. So you should exhibit, you should show. So this is what the simple definitions about the phytopharmaceutical actually. So it's an internal or external use for the human beings or animal diagnosis, treatment and prevention of any diseases, including the administration for the parenteral routes. So anything, the very simple definition is must be the purified and standardized fractions, and you should exhibit the 4 bioactive phytocomponents. That's a very simple. So if you have any product with you like this, you are ready to go to the next step. So what is the next step? Usually the phytopharmaceutical is just they coined this way in order to bridge the herbal folk medicines like a traditional medicines with the allopathic medicines, like how they are bridging it. Very simple way they're bridging it. So when you are exhibiting this composition of this phytopharmaceutical is good enough to show them that actually yes, we have some standardizations, but is not good enough to prove yourself. Actually they are telling you yes, you are putting yourself is the phytopharmaceutical category. So we are giving you the guideline, follow the guideline, do everything as per the guidelines, and then you submit to us for the further things. Very basic for all this thing is the when plant-based medicines or phytopharmaceutical, very basic things is if you want to prove it is phytopharmaceutical, first is very important that actually you have the things done for the efficacy. The efficacy is means like the activity. You are telling me, hey, my knowledge or the as per the traditional knowledge or as per the written in some palm leaves or something else, this plant has particular property, like let's say it's anti-cancer property, it has anti-cancer property. So you have the concept ready now. So this concept, you are now reverse pharmacology you are doing. Actually, you just go back, do your first thing is like you prove yourself this plant has the efficacy, means like it has the properties of anti-cancer. You have that's actually you. So what we usually do in the lab, actually you do in vitro or you do like a in vivo in animal testing, you do in the cell culture testing, whatever testing you want to do related to that. Actually you do like a do, and you show, you exhibit this. Yes, actually at least it has the in vivo and in vitro property. But one thing I am reminding you that you need not to do now the single component. You need not to do the much fractionation and just split component, because most of the time you should think about it. This traditional medicine or the composition, the traditional medicine work in the way of synergetically. One component catalyze the other component, trigger the other components. This A will catalyze B will catalyze C. So if you do the separations and separation, end of the day, like you may lose something. But although the single components are derived from the plant, many aspirins is there, toxol is there. The many are is derived from the plants. It is there. Penicillin, as antibiotic is there. But what is our, idea or our proposal is that don't do that. Actually, it is a time base. Ultimately, you can just go ahead with the studying of this efficacy with the crude. If you have the crude extract, or you can able to make it nano size, you can do it with the nano size, is at your comfortable way, but follow as such told in the traditional method. That is the best things actually. Now in fact, if you ask me, like I have 3 products go into the pipeline, like I'm waiting for some of the DCGA approvals. One is for my cancer drugs, one is for my liver drug, especially the liver drugs. If you talk about it, is of polyherbals, which is exactly told in the traditional knowledge. And also we modified a bit more. Actually, that is a different things. You can also do the same way. But then once you have the efficacy, the next biggest thing is you have to budget for your further studies. So efficacy is the one you can finish it with a minimum budget. But when it comes to the toxicology and safety and clinical trial, you should have the little bit bigger budget. Now the government also supporting for that. If you really have the efficacy, can able to prove it the efficacy nicer way, like a bigger budget, like around 20 to 30 crores you needed to do the further steps. But when you ask me, is it too expensive, sir? Definitely no. When you talk about the allopathic medicine, which they have spent it for to bring out the single component, which is like around 100 to 200 crores they spend for the molecules. But now we are just one third of, I mean, one fifth of only we are spending like 30 crores maximum you can bring out the one good phytopharmaceutical based drug. And the efficacy, as I told, actually like biological activity, traditional knowledge, you can use the reverse pharmacology to do it. The most important part, actually, once you've done the efficacy, yes, you're okay. Your plant is perfectly all right. It's working perfectly nice. The next step, don't jump into the next phase of doing this test. The next step is very important thing is like your raw material, drug, where you are getting the drugs. Why it is important, sir? Because this is your factory now. As such, how they will do, like in pharma company, if you go to, they have the factory, they have all these things, they have the GMP, they measures everything according to the GMP. You add A, zero point 0.5 gram, B, 0.2 gram, C, 0.3 gram. So everything is channelized, everything is SOPs, everything is there, so they can perfectly do that. But when it comes to the biological material, plant material, do you think you can control? Hey, this plant, you should grow only 5 feet. You should exhibit this character only. No, it's very difficult to do. So that now there is a concept of contract farming with the controlled environment. It's a controlled environment. So where we failed, here is the one we failed. Actually, if you ask, some of you may have done this research. Especially I know those who are there in their doctorate from the IBMS, they should have know like there are many studies they've done. Actually, they will collect the plant from the even Professor SP Thiagarajan. One of the study I know, he collected this Kidanelli, Philandus, from the different part of the Tamil Nadu. For example, one may be from Chennai, one may be from Salem, other part of the Tamil Nadu. So when we compare the activity, activities varies. Even the micro components inside is varies. So it is very important that where you are cultivating the plant, like climate, all these things plays important role of bringing up the best phytopharmaceuticals. Still date, if you go to this Bardar University website, they have the separate section for phytopharmaceutical, I mean, plant-based, how to cultivate the medicinal plants, herbal plants. So in that, definitely, each plant they will mention separately, like you have to cultivate this time, this is the condition you have to maintain. If you are using for this purpose, like, you should harvest at this time. So this is what we call as the plant standardization. So you should be aware of these things and standard the herbal material, correct plant, good agriculture practice, harvesting practice. Everything should be properly standardized. So this standardizations helps you very well that bringing out the good herbal products and also producing a herbal product by the good manufacturing practice. Like once you harvested, every single batch you have to do the chromatograph fingerprinting, like HPTLC or HPLC. You should exhibit that every time you take, every batch you take, the four phytopharmaceutical I told, the four components you should show their quantity. They should be quantified. It should not be have much variation. It should not be like have the, like for example, first time you have the 0.1, second time you have 0.12, that is okay still, but it should not be the wider variation like a point one. First time you're reporting, second time you're reporting zero point 0.5, it's a bigger variation. You should not be having. So this is what you have to standardize. This is a very fundamental you have to do before you jump into the other studies. So followed by all other studies like animal pharmacology you have to do. Animal pharmacology, now it is expensive again. Your expenses starts from here, because if you are doing all the study, you should be done it in the good laboratory practice, the lab, very minimal labs. And if you talk about rest of the world, India is still cheaper. But in India, again, it is a monopoly. Like a very few number of labs that are doing this GLP based animal pharmacology or toxicological studies, and this is very expensive. Like some of studies, actually, we spend 1.2 crores to just complete the total of animal safety and pharmacological studies. So that much it is expensive. Like you have to do the specific pharmacological actions and general pharmacological actions. More important things actually used to done this how it is we called as PK studies, like absorption and distribution, metabolism and excretions actually. So this should be widely done. And toxicology, general toxicology and specific systemic toxicological studies you should have done widely. And some of the studies time to time you have to decide. It depends upon your product and how long you are going to prescribe. So those things, some of the studies, for example, my target population including the pregnant woman, like, so I have to do test related to the like a genotoxicity I need to do. And some is very necessary, like fertility studies, like a male fertility and female reproductive and toxicology studies is very important. And local allergic toxicity, especially the plant, the most important thing is like we have one portion of the plant is the protein. So those proteins, usually the proteins we all very well know, it has the good antigenicities. So so you should not create any hypersensitivity reaction. So you should keep it in your mind. So that's the reason we usually tell them that you try to minimize the protein level in your products actually. So it may not trigger the wider range of hypersensitivity reaction. So that is the one thing you should keep it in your mind when you are going for these toxicological studies. Followed by, actually, you've done these two studies in the animal level, no toxicity, and your safety also you are established about that particular product. Then you can approach into the CDSCO, like a drug controllers of India. So you can apply to them that I just want to the clinical trial under the phytopharmaceuticals. So then they will ask all the data, including your toxicological data, safety data. This is a very fundamental data. They don't mind much about your efficacy also, although they will ask, but efficacy is a different scenario for them actually. The most important scenario they will look is the how safe your product and what is the toxicology. And come to, I mean, one more thing actually, the toxicology, when you are talking about, they ask you to do, one is that actually like a in the lower animal. One of the other essential things is you have to do it in the higher animals like monkey or dogs. It is a mandatory you have to do. So you should have all this data ready before you apply these applications. So when you go for this clinical trial, again phytopharmaceutical, you should be filling the forms and applying to the DCGI, and you should have the like a dose range study and stability study. That's the most important things actually. Your drug, how long it's safe. Like say, I'm telling that I just want to do the study for this many months, and how long your drug stability is different from the how long you are going to keep it. So you should have done the stability for at least 2-3 batches, I know, like it not deteriorating or the efficacy is not going down, safety is not compromised. All these things you should have done it actually. So and the dose also, like some is a single dose, some drugs, some is a repeated dose. If you are planning for the repeated dose, you should have done related to the study in the preclinical itself, related dose stability. I mean toxicity. You should have done it. The phase one is the very simple one, like we do it with a very lesser subjects, like 20 to 30 subjects, human subjects, healthy volunteers will be recruited, and you should have established the safe. You can do the test related to the safety, like his liver parameter or his like kidney parameters, all these things you can say. You can do it. You can give to the volunteers, and then you can establish and you can report really my drug is safe at this level. Once you've done the safety study, then you can apply for the phase two. Sometimes your drug is indigenous, I mean, traditional knowledge, and you know that actually there is a provision to merge the phase two and phase three clinical trial also. That's a detailed, we need not to go through that. But phase two is simple. It is again you are establishing bit more higher level of your safety, as well as you are studying the efficacy also. Here, the number of the groups will increase. You are directly giving to the patients, like who is already having that particular conditions. For example, diabetic, you can enroll the diabetic patients, and you can provide this drug. If you are having really efficacy, because already you are established the safety. But here, this case is bit more, again you are looking for the safe as well as the efficacy. But here, what we do is we will include more patients here, like more than 100 plus we can include. Again, it depends upon the study model and study. The numbers will you can play around with the numbers. It will vary, but the bit more like 100, 200. It depends upon the study model again. Again, the last one you can go to the phase three, and apart from that, there is a four clinical. Phase four is there. I'm not going into the detail over there, but here what we can say is um, you can your drug really has been tested in the larger populations. Like you can go more than the numbers what you want. Depends upon the disease what you are studying about it, like 200, 300, 500. Like the last one we are applied for is 1,000 patients. Actually, we are looking for nearly 900 patients. We are looking for our cancer drug, which is there in which is they're requested for the DCGI approval. It's a phytopharmaceutical drug. So again, one more thing is that, as I told you earlier, if you are looking for the long-term treatment, like a more than 6 month treatment, it is mandatory you have to do some carcinogenicity study. If not, actually, like your product is less than 6 months, you need not to do this study. So again, the taste and all these things depends the condition what you are choosing it. um, so in this study, phase three, like you really establishing the multiple population. You can use the multiple centers also, worldwide also you can do. Like I mean, like the say phase three, what we are doing is we are doing it in Malaysia, also we are doing it in India, and we are doing it in Singapore. Like this, actually, you can use multiple countries and multiple parameters you can choose here, and so because your product already established their safety, so here you can just choose the various conditions in order to your product. And basically it's a therapeutic confirmatory space, actually. Like you should have the individual study report with the listing of the sites and investigators here. And the most important thing is, when you are going for this, you should have all these things ready, like how IMPD, like if you are buying the drugs from the pharma, if you see the leaflet, they will written everything, like what is the side effects, what is the how you can take and when you can take, who should not take, can take, what is. So everything will be written. So like this, actually, what is the dose form, composition, manufacturing formula, everything should be, listed over there, and detailed of the formulation and process of quality control check, finished product specification, method of analysis, compatibility studies, validation of the analytical method, everything you should have the detailed things to be submitted along with the phase 3. This should be even by request, actually, to the patients who are involving the study. You should tell them that actually how safe your product. You should clear their mind first. And another thing is, biggest thing is here is the insurance, actually, like overall involving in the study. You should have a couple of hundreds to take the insurance to this study participants. That's another important things you should keep it in your mind. So in nutshell, if you ask me, as such, like your conventional pharmaceutical drug, can we make our plant-based drug? Yes. Now there is a provision. You can categorize them under the phytopharmaceuticals. Then how we can make it? Yes, you can. You need all the steps to be followed, including the clinical trials, to prove or market your drugs worldwide. Now, this study is not only for India. You are doing it. This drug you can market in. You can apply to the FDA, and from the FDA you can put it under the category called as a botanical drug. In US it is called as botanical drug. In India we call it as a phytopharmaceutical drug. In Malaysia we call it as a plant-derived drug. So it is depends upon the country. They have the different name, but all these things, the base is the same, phytopharmaceutical. Okay. With that, I thanks the organizer. And the participants. You can go ahead with the questions if you have anything.
Yes, sir. That was really an interesting presentation and an introduction to this world of phytopharmaceuticals, as well as how to derive them and how to approach the regulatory bodies like CITESCO and other different countries' regulators. Thank you so much, sir. If I can request you to stop sharing the screen, we can open up our forum. Yes, thank you so much. That was really a great session as we were discussing. Now, I would request all the participants, which I'm seeing around 30 of them are there. Thank you so much for joining this evening. As you heard from the professor, it is very exciting times to be developing. As sir has shown us the PubMed statistics compared to China. We are only having 55 pages in the PubMed research, where they're having 35,000 pages itself to highlight their Chinese medicine derived from plants. Now, this is the time for us to interact. So I request any one of you who is interested to either use the hand raising icon so that I can moderate, or you can also unmute yourself. Yes, I'm seeing some hands rising. We have a participant by name Srinivasan ji. Welcome, sir. You can
Hello, ma'am.
yes, unmute yourself and please introduce yourself and interact with our professor. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Srinivasan. I have completed BTech Biotechnology in Rajalakshmi Engineering College, ma'am.
Wonderful.
Now, in September, I'm planning to go to UK for my higher studies, ma'am, PG.
Wonderful.
Masters in Cancer Pharmacology, ma'am.
Congratulations. We are super thrilled because we are also working in oral cancer, and our speaker is already told you he's having a pipeline of drugs. So please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Even in my final year project, I did a project on extracting anti-cancer polysaccharide from algae, ma'am. It was success, ma'am. Cytotoxic value is 9.08 and 2 polysaccharide I extracted, ma'am.
Great.
9.08 and 9.7 something, ma'am. 9.7 point.
Wonderful. What is that you want to interact with our speaker now?
Yes, ma'am. He said about phase 2 clinical trial. I wanted to take my final year project to next level, ma'am. I wanted to know I want to know which path I can go with it, ma'am.
Great. That's a wonderful question to start our interactive hour with our speaker. Sir, can you just proceed and answer our...
Thank you, Ms. Srinivasan, and congratulations also for your
Thank you,
higher
sir.
studies. And I mean, like your study is really wonderful. If I hear correctly, you are taken the sea algae, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Macroalgae.
Okay. I mean, the most important thing is, as I mentioned, whether respective of plant or algae. So it is also considering under that category only. But the thing is, like now, you should know the cultivation practice. So you should focus on the cultivation practice first. So
Yes,
you
sir.
should get the, because you should have the sustainable, like a drug. So you've done the preliminary studies from getting from these algae, but where you'll get further when you want to, after you develop the drug, is it
Yes, sir.
possible?
That only I don't have any idea, sir. Yeah, idea about that, sir.
Yeah, that's what
I'm blank
you
at
really
this
need
stage,
to work
sir.
with a I mean, like a algae specialist, like who is really working on algae. So it is really the multidisciplinary approach. I mean, in science, is very important that how you are you widen yourself with multidisciplinary approaches. We need medical doctors. We need like pharmacologist. We need animal specialists. So everybody must be there in the team. So you should approach the
Oh,
who is algae specialist. You can see listed the now plenty of LinkedIn is there, many are there. You can just have a connection with them, talk to them how to propagate your algae in the in the controlled environment. If you successfully
oh,
done, so your first goal you are achieved, then you can go ahead with other studies with
okay.
like
Sir,
animal study.
I did this anti-cancer polysaccharide against leukemia, sir. It is inducing apoptosis mechanism, sir.
Yeah,
So now it is success, sir. After that, what should I do, sir?
That
no,
is
that's what I'm telling. Uh, yeah, first,
Animal studies and clinical trials, sir.
no.
no,
That is
first you have to,
mentioning. Yes, you have to actually propagate your algae in a controlled environment with a good
Oh, okay.
good growing and handling practices. Once you have that step crossed, then you will come to the
Oh,
clinical trial phase.
okay, ma'am.
Sir will add a little bit more. Yes, sir, please.
so that's what actually as ma'am told is completely true that you should propagate first, number one. Then the propagated, you should again test for your biological property, whether it is really working again. Srinivasan,
Okay,
yes. Yeah, so you have to
okay,
do
sir.
that. Third, only like you can go for the animal testing, all this thing, because that's expensive. Before that, you should have the material.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
I recollect from Sir's presentation, Sir said up to that step you will require some 20-30 crores, and after which it will be exponentially 100, 150 through 200 crores or something. So,
But
but
No,
yeah,
it's
no,
too expensive right now.
yes,
no. Until reaching the clinical trial, 30 crores is good enough to do.
that's what I'm telling, sir. First, up to that level, you have to complete, then only you can go ahead with the planning for phase 1, 2, or 3 trials.
No, no.
It's too expensive right
Until
now.
phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 trials, you can finish it with the 30 crores. That's good enough.
Okay, okay.
If you
Oh,
allopathy, yes, they will spend actually hundreds of crores. But
Yes,
in these medicines, it's just good enough. Like 30 crores, if you have, you can finish until the phytopharmaceutical product.
okay. So you
oh,
got
Then
your
after
message,
you can sell it
Srinivasan?
off with people. Like there are plenty of farmers are there. You can
Yes.
just sell it off. Just enjoy rest life.
Yes. So that is the message. To summarize, Srinivasan, if you are
oh,
still there, sir
okay, ma'am.
says like you need to go through the steps sir has told you. First propagate your algae and then proceed with the other steps. Yes, your response is valid. It looks even 20-30 crores, though it is comparatively one-fifth when you compare with pharma, in the sense like allopathic molecules. But sir says like once you reach a stage, there are pharmaceutical companies who will be interested to invest further. Got
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to speak with you, ma'am, later.
You
How
can
can I
mail
contact
me.
you, ma'am?
Yeah, you can find me in LinkedIn and you can definitely mail me. Okay.
Or can I contact Kannan sir, ma'am?
Yeah, condenser is always there. You can
Okay.
you can contact any one of us. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Regarding this session, I think our speaker is much more valuable to you. So, as Sir said, please contact Sir through LinkedIn. Reach out to him through LinkedIn, and Sir may guide you further in his other post-webinar series also. Okay, all the best. We look forward to your work to help our communities with the leukemia. Okay.
Always they can contact me in even WhatsApp. It is
Yes,
easier.
yes, that's much more easier, it
Okay,
seems.
ma'am.
Great, wonderful. All the best. And now I'll move on to the other speaker. There is a raised hand from Dr. Art Karthikeyan, Professor Art Karthikeyan. Sir, can you please unmute yourself and proceed with your interaction with our speaker? Dr. R. Karthikeyan. Probably there is some issue. May I request Mr. Gopal, who is also interested to interact with our speaker, please unmute yourself and go ahead. Yes, please.
Dr. Shri, I should thank you for lining up the talks on plant-based medicine.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you,
And I
sir.
think it is coincidental. Hopefully, it may bring more information for people working on that.
You can also give recommendations if you know any other experts. We will invite them, sir.
Sure.
Please help us. Thank you so much. And you can interact with our speaker.
Yeah. Ashok?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Great. Nice to hear you talk after so long.
Thank you, sir.
Happy to see you grow so much.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. My question is, you have been doing some plant work for quite some time, correct?
Yes, sir.
In Malaysia, Ipoh, you have been
Now
doing?
15 years, sir.
I mean, Ipoh, did you continue that with any particular aspect?
Yes, sir. Like,
so what is your success rate? Have you manufactured, or I mean, have you given the product out of it? Or?
No, sir. Actually, one is in the clinical trial pipeline, and other two is in preclinical. Preclinical means like now we are doing for animal safety and toxicology. Efficacy study is done, and few we are selling it as supplements, like
Okay.
like some of the medicines, like for during COVID times, all these things. Like from my lab alone, like now almost like 3-4 products comes out. So two, which is very promising, we are taking into the clinical trial. Remaining all, we are just giving it as supplements or the other things. But still, it's going on with, nearly 12 plants focusing here.
This is done in India or Malaysia?
No, sir. In my lab here in means the work we are taking out for this one clinical trial, which is done in my PhD time. So that's what I'm carrying it for 15 years, sir.
Great.
It is really need years actually. Those time we focus only on the single component, but later now government says like no need of single component. You can just go ahead. Like, so that's the reason now getting a lot of hope, to go ahead with this kind of things. Here in Ipoh, yes, actually we are going a lot of antimicrobials and very basic things, and all we are doing it in our lab.
Okay.
It's mixed, sir. Actually, we have outsourcing centers in India. We're doing more works there.
Okay. Furthering on that, like, what do you advise people, because they still go for particular components? Is it advisable to go or
no.
go for whole plant?
It is really time waste.
Okay.
I can really tell it is a time waste, and very less chances of getting it out. The positive results after you've done so many years, and you are not going to see any fruit out of that.
Yeah.
So it is best to go, just because it's a synergetic effect. Basically, what we want to understand is like we done some study here, like we fractionated. After fractionation, we saw like the efficacy is going. drastically. And crude extract is doing better than this one. So we recommend to go, either crude or polyherbals or some level of fractions if you are confident.
Unfortunately, I was not able to bring that into view for others to use. Okay, doesn't matter. Now at least people understand it should be the whole extract rather than particular compounds.
Correct, sir.
Thank you, Ashok.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. It was heartening to see that in-depth exploration of the science which Dr. Ashok has shared with us. It is really important as time is very precious. It is one resource which is irreversible. So being wise with this kind of evidence as well as scientific discourse, the next generation or scholars who are scientists who are pursuing this pathway can really take this message that it is essential to follow the trends and also optimally utilize the resources which are available at their end. Now I request Dr.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Karthikeyan, please.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Ashok, sir.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. It was very nice talk, sir. You just gave a overview of phytopharmaceuticals. Phytopharmaceuticals. Actually, only one question from my side, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we are in the scenario of P medicine, that is personalized medicine.
Yes.
Correct, sir.
Yeah. What is your opinion? I would like to, know your view on personalized medicine, whether it is essential, is needed for phytopharmaceuticals like your allopathy?
Sir, allopathy also, what is happening is like, although they say personalized medicine, it's most of the time with the populations, sir, it's very difficult to go ahead until otherwise we are touching in the genomic level. Those things we can customize as a personalized medicine. Since, proud to say I'm teaching here is personalized medicine to my students.
Yeah, then my question is correct.
So, actually, I'm a coordinator for that particular course. So, like personalized medicine, it's not the for the very soon, when I'm talking about, but you can do that in the molecular level. For example, if you're touching the like now the CRISPR technology, like you are modifying the genes or something, there it will work actually. When it comes to the medications, it's very, very difficult to do for person to person. That's what we usually choose. Like we choose the multiple age group or different population sizes, age group wise, male, female wise, geography wise. So we can make it generalized in that way. At least it is works with some group of people. So if you are achieving 70 to 80% efficacy in those population, is good to go with your medications. But you cannot achieve 100% with any medicines. That is also we always must keep. Yes.
Yes.
I think it's a very passive answer, I know, but it cannot go. Actually, that is a very straightforward answer. It's very difficult, sir.
Yes,
cannot go. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So actually, I'm from the pharmacognosy and phytochemistry background.
Oh, perfect, sir. Yeah.
No problem, sir.
In fact, it's very difficult, sir. As you know, in that way, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Whether is there any initiation from the government of India in this aspect, especially, sir?
Phytopharmaceuticals, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. A lot of initiatives are there. Ayush also there is fundings.
Yes,
Even we can approach UGC. There are various funding agents providing fund to take up our medicine into the next level. Also, I think last week I saw some advertisements. Maybe we need to look at actually there is a call from ICMR or somewhere that they are looking for set up the small Indian-based medicine industries. Like you can start up.
Okay.
There are funds, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you for your guidance, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Professor. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Karthikeyan. That is very interesting question and a very honest response from our speaker. When we talk about personal medicine, there are some potential avenues opening up but it will be realistically some time taking. But we can definitely hope that with leaps and bounds the technology is making, very soon those kind of visions will be realized. With that, I would request other participants. I'm seeing a lot of students and other probably postdoc fellows and others. So this is the right opportunity for you to pose any further questions to our speaker, because it's very interesting to know that sir is coming out with multi-center, multi-country trials. And that's where I had one question. In today's session, you highlighted the Indian regulations, sir, but in your earlier point, you said you are doing one study in Malaysia, India, and Singapore. So do we have to specifically tailor our trials and other things meeting those
No, no.
countries' regulations also?
No, ma'am. It's very simple. Like all the names only different, basically.
Okay,
But regulation wise, the base everywhere is the same.
wonderful.
But when it comes to the country, there are few guidelines. They will make it bit vary. But what we do is you can get the permission from one country. For example, India, you can approach that I am going to do the multi-center. The same protocol you can submit. If you one country approved, other country definitely they will do it. But
Great.
one more thing I just want to emphasize also, just which is I left out. Like for example, your product is developed in India. You are allowed to do the phase one in India only. You cannot do the phase one in other countries. Like you can say like I do go and do in Africa, I do in some other country. Cannot. If I develop my drugs in Malaysia, I'll do the phase one in Malaysia only.
Okay.
So the phase one only that restriction is there because it's involved with the safety.
Yes.
So either way, it is politicized. Means like you can you done the product in your country, you do the safety in your country. You play with your population first, then
Yes.
come to my population. That's what the aim of the safety trial. But when
Wonderful.
it comes to the 2 and 3, you can do it anywhere.
But if I recollect, phase one is among a minimum number of 30 to 50 healthy volunteers, right?
Yes, to even 20
Yes,
subject
maybe it's a
progress.
5 to, yes, yes. So now I'm seeing Dr. Balakrishnan also being interested to interact with our speaker. Sir, please go ahead and welcome to the webinar.
Yes, madam. Good evening. Good evening, one and all.
You just
And
returned
Dr.
from
Ashok.
Malaysia. You are talking to us from Malaysia.
Dr. Yeah,
Sir,
Dr.
fine,
Ashok.
sir.
Wonderful
Sorry, sir,
to
I'm
see
meeting
you.
you here. Left you in
Yeah,
Malaysia and meeting you in this.
yeah. I am very sorry because I came just for 2 days. I didn't have opportunity to visit you. Okay, sorry for that. But I don't have any question. But yeah, it's a very informative talk.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Dr. Bala, because though you are not able to meet him in Malaysia going all the way, this is a good platform to meet people.
Yeah. That you are making it, madam.
No,
Yeah.
with only
You are
your
always
support
collecting the
and
people
yes,
across
Dr.
the world.
Kannan sir, yes, both of
Yeah.
you are
Yeah,
very,
both of you. Yeah, of course.
both of you are wonderful in getting
Oh,
all your contacts for your
uh,
webinar. That's why our audience is growing day by day. And today also we had 35 participants, most of
mhm.
them. And one scholar who has completed his studies in Rajlakshmi is now moving to UK and he's exploring algal-based anti-cancer activity-related products. So this is an exciting field and we are thrilled to listen to today's presentation. That's how we want our webinars to be, a platform where we can look into this exciting world. So if there are any other speakers who want to interact with our speaker, like one more opportunity, the last 1 minute opportunity. Otherwise, I would just again pose one more question. Meanwhile, if someone is interested to talk. So you also mentioned your your PhD work, you are continuing now into clinical trial and very soon it has prospects of coming out. May we know a little bit about what is the current status of that clinical? Is it in phase 3, sir?
Phase 3 is a different product, ma'am. Actually, we already applied for the phase 3. Like we
Okay.
are waiting for the approval from the DCGI.
Okay.
But this one is there for the toxicological study. We are almost done safety. Now we are progressing to the toxicology.
Mhm.
Once we're done, actually, we are now also looking for the contract farmers who can do, because it's a plant-based, so who
Yes.
can do a controlled plantation for us.
Yes.
As that the other side, we are looking it for that. Actually, we are exploring that options actually from Malaysia, from India also we are looking it out. So this is the way we are progressing. But other one, there is a cancer product which I'm consultant and working as a consultant over there. That product's already in phase 3. It's a plant-based product.
In your bio, I saw that you are consultant in IVF. What is it, in vitro fertilization?
It's in the lab actually. That is my hobby
Okay.
specialization area. Like I'm
Assisted reproduction.
done this separate course in US.
Oh, wonderful. Because I was understanding whether there is any new trials or interest in fetal medicine or something for plant-based.
Actually, we are doing one for that. Actually, like we
Oh,
are looking some our Indian-based medicine for to treat this PCOD.
okay.
That's a product actually. Like I mean, Dr. Gopal sir asked. Actually, I told, right. I mean, one of the product is going on, but
Yes.
it's very preliminary stage. And now
Okay.
we developed some. I mean, like a sustainable drug development method. Like we mix up with biodegradable nanomaterial, which is a bioplastics, with the Indian medicines. We made, like what you call as it's like a nanomaterial
Yes.
basically, but it's mixed up with our Indian medicine.
Okay.
So we are directly delivering into the uterus,
Okay.
and we are going to see that how this one uh, releasing slowly over there, because we want sustainable release over there.
Yes.
Like because whatever other way you are sending the drug, it is not reaching the uterus only. Like it just reaching the bloodstreams, but
Yes.
hematological ways. But we really want to deliver into the uterus. We want to see the activities, but it is has a lot of regulatory issues and ethical issues. We have to come across a long way. We are waiting for that.
Yeah.
We done it in small animals, and we created the models. We done it. We also done it with real fibroids, which is isolated, which is taken it from the patient during the surgery. We culture those in the labs, and we tested. It's really working good. Now we want to take it to the next level.
Wonderful to hear this, because PCOD is one such a common occurrence among reproductive aged females, and it also has significant contribution to female infertility. So,
Yes, correct, ma'am. So that's what our target. Like what we hear is like in the statistically, like nowadays, like out of 100 girls, like 14 of them is having these issues. Like this is
very
really big issues. 14 is a big number if I see.
exactly.
And
Very,
visibly we can see a growing number of fertility centers in
yeah,
every corners of streets.
very true. That is the reason my attention was drawn to your bio as a IVF consultant, because your observation is very true and valid, especially in metro cities like Chennai and all. We see a lot of this. Even in airport, we see advertisements for infertility
Right.
clinics. Medical tourism is there, and all these avenues are opening up. And I hope like solutions like which you are trying to work out will definitely help our members in female statistics, because PCOD, I have encountered it among my own students, and they suffer a lot because of these issues. So I hope you will be able to successfully complete this project.
We may a future actually. I will discuss with you. Whenever I come to India, I'll discuss further. We can see how, because we need to work with many people, like
Definitely.
multiple centers.
Yes, and
So,
multiple centers, and also you will be able to get access to your research subjects or study participants. We have wide contacts in India in medical schools, dental schools, and nursing schools, and all. And these are, though we are in medical world, these are all the same problems we battle with, being women and otherwise. So, very, very hopeful that our
do the further discussion
yes,
regarding this.
we can, sir. So with that, I'm seeing that it's getting late for a dinner for people who are. What's the time in Malaysia, sir?
It is, I mean, Malaysian time, it is, I don't know, like I didn't see the time quite some time.
Okay. How
Maybe
many hours it
9,
is?
9:45.
Oh, so
9:40.
it's definitely late. So we will thank everyone who has joined today and for wonderful questions and interactive discussion, because this is very important. It's not just about presentation, the application part, the real world translation is very important, and it is an interdisciplinary thing. So with that, I thank our speaker, Dr. Ashok, once again for that wonderful illuminating talk, and also hope that in future sir will come again and share one of his particular one research project from ideation to whatever stage it is right now. That will help the scholars also understand how to get a good research question to actually work your life 15 years or beyond, so that you feel a really meaningful contribution to the scientific advancement. With that, I thank all my 35 plus participants, especially Dr. Kannan, the director of GBRF, and who is instrumental in getting today's speaker, because I was very insistent he should trigger all his international contacts and only bring international speakers. So thank you, sir. And Dr. Bala, thank you for joining in. And I request all our participants to leave your information in chat box. And I'm seeing participant Kiruba Shankar, sir. Hello, sir. And I'm seeing wonderful visuals at your back. Where is it? Is it in Dubai?
Waiting from Dubai, yeah.
Yes, I love that view. That's why I was telling you, because I was in Dubai. Wonderful to see that
I
once
see.
again. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So with that, we'll call it night, and we'll see next week once again, Thursday, same time, 6 p.m. Indian time. And we'll bring one more illustrious speaker, so that please stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And I see my Dean Datho also joined here. I want to give him special thanks for permitting me to, participating here.
Thank you, sir. Even we thank your dean. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's here actually. Like, thank you, Datho.
I say to Dr.
Welcome.
Ashok, well done. Excellent
Thank you,
job.
Datho.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for permitting your faculty to
No,
share.
Dr. Ashok is a very hardworking person.
Yes, sir.
He's very versatile in his work, and I am telling you, he's a good research worker. He brings up
Wonderful. I hope the
our
Nobel Prize
university.
knocks on his door. All Indians away from India are getting Nobel Prize. So Dr. Ashok is putting.
Yeah. They are here on a holiday also, not just teaching. They are teaching and enjoying the life here, and then they get back to India.
Wonderful. But
By the way, Datho is the radiologist. He is a retired radiologist from one of the biggest hospital in Malaysia.
Wonderful.
Now I'm retired. Okay.
Whenever you are in India, please mark half a day for meeting with us, sir, both of you.
Thank
We
you.
love to
We'll
meet
do that.
you.
We'll do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. With that, we thank everyone once again. Have a great evening, and sorry for the speaker's delayed dinner, probably.
Yeah. Thank you so much once again.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Take care.